Good evening and welcome to ThaiPBS English News Service. I'm Supajan Kunsuwan. Only a few months until the rainy season, but a member of the Water Management Committee reveals that the committee will not be able to deliver all 6 promises it made earlier, especially the flood warning system and designating retention basins in flood-prone areas. Associate Professor Seri Suparatit of the Sirinthorn International Environmental Park and also a member of the Strategic Committee for Water Resources Management says seeking 2 million rai or 320,000 hectares of land to become retention basins is not going to happen this year. Seeking fields to become natural reservoirs in order to prevent water from entering other areas will need more time and clear plans for compensation. Another promise that the Water Management Committee, or what Thais would call Govemment, will not be able to keep is setting up an advanced national warning system before the floods come. Seri claims the computers we have in hand at the moment are not advanced enough. However, on the positive side, the other 4 promises which the Govemment are likely to be able to keep, according to Associate Professor Seri, are managing the release of dam waters, fixing flood-affected facilities, initiate emergency plans for each designated areas, and lastly, setting up a new committee to handle the floods in a single line of command. Following the issuing of a government emergency decree, the 50 billion baht insurance fund designed to cover factories in flood-prone areas will begin selling insurance policies next month. Meanwhile, Deputy Prime Minister and Interior Minister Yonghyut Vichaidit admits that there was a mistake when releasing water from dams which resulted in the current flooding in Ayutthaya province. Yonghyut Vichaidit admits the release of water from Strategc, Bhumipol and Chao Phraya dams as they prepare to receive water from the rainy season is the cause of the current flooding in Ayutthaya's Sena district. The Deputy Prime Minister says water levels should return to normal tomorrow. Meanwhile, many provinces along major rivers are now bracing themselves for the upcoming rainy season, especially the flood-prone areas. Ang Thong and Ayutthaya Provincial Administration is building their own dike to prevent flooding, similar to some Bangkok districts along the Chao Phraya River. Meanwhile, the Committee of the Insurance Fund for Flood Protection, of which Payungsak Chat Sudipon is chairman, has asked the Department of Economic Policy and Office of Insurance Commission of the Ministry of Finance to specify rules and conditions prior to the sale of insurance policies. The insurance policies will cover small and medium-sized enterprises as well as residential properties. Initially, the insurance premiums will be 0.6 to 1.5% of the amount of cover required. While the fund will initially contain 50 billion baht, the government expects it to grow up to 1 trillion baht. It is expected that there will be a signing of an MOU with insurance companies and sale of premiums, which began in early March this year. The government will provide a 50 billion baht insurance fund, while private companies will contribute 2 billion baht. The maximum cover available will be 100,000 baht for residential property, 20 million baht for SMEs, and larger businesses can have the insurance cover up to 50 million baht. Moving on to politics, a core red shirt leader and Pheu Thai MP reveals that he has reliable sources who have evidence that a coup d'etat might occur a few months from now. However, both the Army Commander and Minister of Defense deny such claims. Jatuporn Phompan cites foreign intelligence sources saying that a coup d'etat is planned for this April. He asks the Army Commander to announce clearly that during his time in office he will not conduct a coup. As a core leader, Jatuporn says his red shirt movement will gather at the end of this month to announce their stance against any sort of coup. Army Commander General Prayut Chan-o-cha says he has not received any reports of a coup. He insisted that the MP report this evidence to the police, who have the authority to arrest whoever is planning to launch a coup. Meanwhile, Prime Minister Yingluck Shinawatra suggests Jatuporn might be a little overreacting, as neither she nor the Defense Minister have heard any reports of coup movements. The Finance Minister today reconfirmed that the government has no plan to reduce its stake in holding PTT Public Company. He further revealed that the government had not even discussed the privatization with the relevant agencies. Finance Minister Kittirat Naranong reaffirmed today that there is no plan to sell government equity in PTT Public Company. Kittirat, who is also Deputy Prime Minister for Economic Affairs, was responding to a question by Democrat Party list MP Gonchatiga Wanit in the House. He said that he reports it planned to sell PTT shares to the Wayupak Fund as just a remark made by an economic expert after being asked about ways to reduce the government's public debt. He said that the issue has never been raised for discussion at a meeting of the State Enterprises Policy Management Committee. He said that PTT is free to proceed on its business transparently as a listed company on the Stock Exchange of Thailand. There will be no vested interest as alleged. Kittirat stated that apart from being a state enterprise, PTT is also a public company which is duty-bound to run its business and ensure the best benefits for other shareholders, not only the government. Private bus operators are asking the government to subsidize their costs as it already helped taxi operators. Meanwhile, truck operators are asking the Energy Minister to remove his permanent secretary as they claim that he has a position with PTT. Private bus operators are asking the Ministry of Energy to assist private NGV buses with a 2 baht discount for every kilogram of CNG used by these NGV buses. This is the measure the government is using to help taxi operators. Private buses claim they are currently losing an average 2 baht 50 stang for every passenger. Meanwhile, Song Tao taxis, which are pickup trucks turned taxis and mostly run scheduled routes, are also asking support from the government. Next week, CNG is scheduled to go up another 50 stang per kilogram. Meanwhile, a group of truck operators are asking the Minister of Energy to remove the ministry's permanent secretary as they claim Norkun Sitipong has a permanent position inside PTT. They suggest there may be a conflict of interest going on as the permanent secretary is also a NGV Price Adjustment Committee member. The Department of Internal Trade says that as of February 20th, food in this country should cost no more than 35 baht a plate. Retailers exceeding the limit may face tax audits.
The Department of Internal Trade has come up with a price control measure, asking food retailers to sell at a limited, reasonable and consumer-friendly price. For example, the department says food shops in government compounds should sell their dishes at no more than 30 baht per serving, while food centres in department stores should be selling at 35 baht. However, some special cases where the operator's costs are higher may be allowed to sell at a higher price on a case-by-case basis. Despite the price ceiling request, the department says quality and quantity should remain the same as prior to the introduction of this measure. Despite not having any predefined penalties for those breaching the rules, the Director General of the Internal Trade Department says the Excise Department may be requested to go into the account books of shops which do not comply with the request. Already, a number of department stores have agreed to lower their rent to help food shops cut costs.
And that wraps up tonight's edition of Thai PBS English News Service. Thank you so much for watching us. And for your comments or any questions, please do email us at ingnews@thaipbs.or.th. We'll see you again tomorrow night, same time, same place. I'm Subhajang Klinsawan. สวัสดีครับ